FloVVolution Friday, where I help you to inspire, innovate and motivate yourself into a life that you love. And FloVVolutioners, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And now we've got New Year. This is the last FloVVolution Friday of the year, folks. So I've decided to make this one, the last one out of the 3 special ones I'm doing for this Christmas time. This one is specifically about goal setting. It's a little bit longer than the others because what I want you to do is kind of like a mini workshop, okay, in terms of really setting and making your goals really specific in terms of what you want to achieve in 2014. Yes. Okay, so now goals, right, or resolutions. Now can I just say, have you ever made a resolution ever? Right, I'm sure you have. I've made New Year's resolutions. Now, have you ever kept these resolutions? I don't know. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, okay? Now, if you have, well done. I'm so proud of you, and it's amazing that you've done so. Keep on going with what you're doing and follow the same kind of pattern that you've done beforehand in order to keep on achieving your goals. You are one of 8%. 8% of individuals that make New Year's resolutions and are able to keep them. The rest of that percentage, 92% of people who make resolutions, don't keep them. They end up giving them up around about January time, around about February time, if they're lucky around about mid-year time, and then they end up dissolving into old patterns and old habits and old behaviours that end up to forget what they were doing. So what my thing is here is to make sure that you keep these resolutions. I mean, would it be nice if you had a resolution to keep your resolutions? How does that sound? I think it sounds brilliant. So I'm here to help you do that. Okay. So first and foremost, resolutions. Now think about the idea of a resolution. Okay. Now just to let you know, you can have a pen and paper here with you, but what I'd rather you do is just kind of listen to the video, see if it's right for you. Then you can always look back at the video and you can write these things down afterwards, because it's a lot more effective and we take on board what we're listening to immediately rather than looking up and writing down. So try that out. Okay. So first and foremost, a resolution. When is a resolution made? The idea of a resolution, when you think of resolutions, you think of New Year's resolutions. Okay, those are the associations that are attached with it, essentially. So New Year's, how often is New Year's? New Year's is once a year, yeah? Every 31st of December into the 1st of January, right? So if it's once a year, how does that seem? Does that seem like a thing that would be with you every day, or does it seem like something that would be only one day? Okay, yeah. Now, one day a year is kind of mainly the main response that I get on that. Okay, so in order to make it more achievable or to make it more current in your life, reframe that, which is meaning put another label on it, or maybe put it in another package. And I would say put it in the package of goal. You can put it in any package you like, but you can put it in the package of goal. Okay? So I tend to reframe and put it into a package of a goal. Okay? So goal. You've got it as a goal. Now that seems like something that you might achieve every day. You could even do it as every hour, every week, every month. It's not just limited to a year or your new year, you know. So that's one really strong thing, okay? You've already changed your way of how you think about your goal already in terms of reframing it, okay? Now once you've got that in your head, the next important thing is to really understand what you want, okay? Now ask yourself honestly, what do you want? If you ask people around you, ask your friends, ask your family, what do they want? More often than not, they are telling you what they don't want. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want that. I definitely don't want that. Oh, no, I don't want that. Oh, I didn't want this and I didn't want this. But when you actually start to think about what you do want, it's really funny how many people actually tend to shut down and they're like, well, I know what I don't want, and they go back to that. So be honest with yourself and start to think about what you do want. Okay? Now once you're asking yourself that question, the next step is just to let yourself go and to imagine and to dream. Do you remember when you were a child the games that you used to play, or like the imaginative games that you used to play. So say if you maybe were like you played doctors and nurses, or if you played any other kind of games, like, you know, you pretended to be like, you know, a superhero, or you pretended to be, you know, like any other character, like maybe a surgeon, or maybe like a businessman or a businesswoman, or some character like that. Now, did you find yourself taking on attributes of those particular characters? For example, if you were a superhero who was able to fly and was really strong, okay, fair enough, you may not have been able to fly and you may not have been really strong, but how did you find your posture was? How did you find the way that you were speaking, the way that you were being? Have you noticed how little kids, when they're playing those games, how they act when they're playing superheroes and stuff like that? They take on that posture, they take on that strength. They look strong, they look unstoppable, they look unbeatable, okay? So, you know, you start to take on certain attributes of those characters. Also, one thing as well, right? Did you ever have a dream where you could not differentiate the difference between whether you were awake and whether you were asleep? I'm sure you've had that. I've had that many times, okay? Sometimes you're quite glad that you've woken up. You're like, oh, thank God, I'm awake. So, you know, if you think about that, and you think about the emotion that's attached to that, okay, so that gives you the capacity and the understanding that you are able to dream to that level, okay? Now, this is what we want to apply to each of these goals. This is what I want you to apply to thinking about your goals, to creating your goals, to dreaming your goals, and really pushing the boat out. Go for it. Really, really go for it, okay? And think about all of the amazing things that you want to do with your life. And don't hold back. Just go for it, okay? Right. Now, once you've done that, okay, take your time also with doing that. Try and dedicate, like, I would say, try and dedicate a small amount of time every day. If you're not used to doing this, or you may think it might be silly or anything like that, just dedicate a small amount of time every day to doing that and to establishing that, okay? Dreaming, letting your thoughts really wander and flexing the imagination. You know, many of the greats, i.e. Einstein, and Martin Luther King, and Nelson Mandela, you know, a lot of people who are great in this world have relied on their dreams. Isaac Newton have relied on their dreams to show them the way in terms of how they think up of new ideas. So this is why it's so important for you to broaden your horizons through dreaming and really imagining yourself in situations. So you have all of these amazing dreams where you are doing all these fantastic things, okay? Even if they're not, you know, big dreams, they're things that you're imagining yourself doing, and you're having loads of fun flexing your imagination and feeling these experiences that are associated with that. Now, what I want you to do is really think about these situations and start to associate feelings of pleasure. So you want to feel good, okay? So for example, if you wanted to lose weight or anything like that, if you want to feel good about losing weight, so start to imagine yourself at the size that you are and feeling really good about that. Also, you would start to look at things that those kind of people do. Okay, so for example, they do really amazing exercise, they look amazing, like eating good foods or anything like that. Just start to associate those kind of patterns and behaviors with the actual goal that you've got, okay? Then you want to really feel good about that and imagine yourself already there. You want to think, right, I'm here. And as I said, you know, we come back to the games, okay? So you start to think, right, okay, I'm actually in this position. It comes back to the secret. What the mind can see, it can achieve, okay? So, which is not specifically the secret, but it kind of is where it comes from. So once you've achieved that, once you've got those dreams, what you need to do is, once you've associated this feeling, it also gives a sense of realism. Realistic goals is what makes this really clear, okay? This is the main reason why people don't achieve their goals, don't achieve their New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions often can be seen as unrealistic, okay? We often set ourselves with really high goals that we're going to do. Yeah, I'm going to go and do this and I'm going to go and do that. But, you know, sometimes it's just a bit too much and way outside of our comfort zone, actually taking us into our panic zone, which often causes us to retreat back into comfort as opposed to staying in our stretch. We've got 3 zones. We've got a comfort zone, which is where we are. We've got a stretch zone, which puts us in a bit like, oh, that's a bit challenging. And then you've got your panic zone, which is like, whoa! So what you've got to do is you've got to come back, and you've got to be at the end of your stretch zone, and that is where the magic happens. So, make the goals realistic. See yourself doing them and associating good feelings with the end result. That's really, really key. What you're doing is a process called anchoring, okay? Now, the purpose of an anchor is to keep a ship in one point, okay? So what we're doing with these goals is we are anchoring particular feelings. So feelings of joy, contentment, happiness, achievement, success, you know, those feelings are being anchored to your goal. So every time you do something that is towards your goal, you will start to reward yourself with these feelings, okay? So that's highly important. Thinking about the pleasure that is associated with your goal. Key, absolutely key, okay? Now, once you've done that, okay, you want to just take a few goals, okay? So say you've only got 3, okay? So maybe you want to lose weight, you want to quit smoking, and you maybe want to start cooking more food instead of getting, you know, ready meals or whatever, okay? So so then you start to plan. So right, you've got your 3 clear goals. You've imagined yourself in your lost weight state, so in your new slimmer state, or whatever state you want to be in. Maybe you want to gain weight, okay? But you imagine yourself in your new body, and you imagine yourself what you're doing, so what exercises you're doing, and how you're enjoying that, and associating pleasure with it. And then you also imagine your foods that you're eating with that, because I mentioned 3 goals, so your food as well. So you imagine the kind of foods that you're eating, how good you feel when you're eating them, the kinds of people that you're meeting when you're eating this food, okay? Because that can also change too. So once you've associated all of that, you've anchored in your goals, okay? You've anchored in your feelings to your goals, which is really important. So you've got your goals, you've anchored in your feelings towards your goals, and you've really made these quite clear and specific. Now for the 3rd step, to plan how you're going to do them. The key thing to all of this is small, achievable steps, bite-sized chunks, okay? If you make a big leap and then you find yourself slowly coming back. Have you ever felt that? Ever? Where you're like, yeah, I'm going to do like loads of work, yeah, I'm going to do loads of weight, yeah, I'm going to do this, and it just starts to bring back because you haven't done it for so many days, and it's back to where you were. It's very much like the tortoise and the hare. It's such a fantastic fable, you know, but instead of just making small, graduated steps, and before you know it, you're like, whoa, you know, off the scale. So, you know, just what I would do is start to think about how often you want to do it. So for example, you want to you know, do a certain amount of yoga every day or whatever. You know, if you want to do that, what you would think is, right, okay, how much yoga realistically can I do, or what can I dedicate to doing daily, okay? Some people might go in there and go half an hour. Now half an hour is a big amount, okay? So what I would say is bring it back down, do it small chunks, 5 minutes, because you can do an amazing workout in 5 minutes in yoga, yeah? Just watch the amazing Tara Stiles, she's fantastic. Or some really, really good other videos called Yogatic, which is on YouTube, fantastic, okay? You can do 5-minute segments, and they will be so powerful that you will already start to notice. Then as you start to build upon that, and just do it for a week, see how it goes. Then after that, build that, maybe do 10 minutes after 2 weeks. Build it up slowly, and before you know it, you're doing a half-hour, 45-minute routine before you go to work, or maybe when you come back from work, and you're feeling absolutely elated and amazing for it, and starting to feel the results of it. But first of all, small, bite-sized chunks. What I would also do is reward yourself constantly. So every time you've done it, reward yourself. congratulate yourself and take notice of how you feel, so that after you've done this activity, after you've done this 5 minutes, you've got an association. Again, you're anchoring in a feeling of goodness, of wholeness, of feeling proud of yourself, and, you know, just really nice positive feelings that are associated with it. When people tend to think of exercise, they think, oh my god, I'm going to have to work out today, you know, oh, I've got to go to the gym, and it's like you've got an association of pain there, so no wonder there's a reluctancy to do it. Associate good feelings with your 5 minutes every day, and it just doesn't seem like it's a big thing at all. And then before you know it, as I said, half an hour in no time. Remember, there's no right or wrong way of doing this, guys. Really, no right, no wrong way. We're all human, okay? Some people think that they can do yoga in the morning. Some people can think they do yoga in the evening. I tend to like to do it just before bed. I know this sounds really weird, but like it really unwinds me and keeps me in a nice spacey feeling that I can just go conk, go straight to sleep. So, you know, there's no right or wrong way in doing this. It's all relative, and you have to really listen to your body and listen to how your body reacts. Your mind will tell you a few other bits and pieces, but listen to your body and be persistent, okay, to what you want to do, and, you know, keep on doing it and it will occur. But yeah, like, I would say that those are the main steps to you achieving your goals, and before you know it, it will be the end of the year. So I'll just go over those again, okay? So the first thing is reframe your goals, okay? Reframe and look at it as opposed to a resolution, look at it as a goal. Secondly, imagine, dream, go for it, okay? Thirdly, there's going to be more than 3. Thirdly, make it realistic. Make it realistic to you and believe. This is also part of the fact of dreaming and imagining your goals, because you really believe it, okay? It's not just to the fact that, yeah, I may have £10 in my hand now, but that doesn't mean I'm going to have £10 now. It might mean I have £10,000 the next moment, you know, you just never know. But you know that you're working towards that in, say, 6 months or whatever. You don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen, okay? And then, after that, once you've done that, then create a routine. So actually the 3 main ways I would say would be create, plan and implement. Those would be the 3 key ways of doing it. So you create your goals, create them realistically. Plan how you're going to do it. Plan 5 minutes every day, plan 10 minutes every day. Plan how you're going to do it over a period of time, and be good with yourself in taking time with that, and then have the courage to implement it. Implement these things, go forward with it, reward yourself consistently, and then you are able to combine these all together to create a goal. And before you know it, or goals, and then before you know it, it's the end of 2014, and then someone goes to you, oh yeah, did you keep all your resolutions that you made at the end of 2004, that you made at 2013 for 2014, and you're like, yeah, actually I did. So I hope you like that, FloVVolutioners. That was a little workshop. What I would do is just literally go through the video, you know, listen to it once, then go through the video afterwards, and then maybe have a pen and paper. You can, you know, stop the video whenever you like, and then you can just take it from there and see how you get on. You know, I'd really like to know how you got on with this, and you know, if it's helped, because it's certainly helped me. Everything that I do, everything that I tell you, I do myself. So enjoy. And here is to the next FloVVolution Friday in 2014, and to many, many more FloVVolution Fridays and other stuff on FloVVolution TV. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey of doing FloVVolution, and yeah, I hope I'm here next year. Well, I will be here next year. Happy New Year, FloVVolutioners, and have a great one. See you in the new year.
Action.
Happy New Year. Do you like the way I admitted like happy birthday?
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Whatever.